Forks up, everybody, because the first conference champion, whose record I shall predict for 2025 without fail, the Arizona State Sun Devils. Richie Bradshaw of Locked On Sun Devils is here. Why? What a strange coincidence seeing you here, Richie. That's crazy town. So I'm going to give you my record. I will give you game by game, and then we shall discuss, and you'll tell me why they're actually going to go 12-0 is probably how this is going to go down. Their preseason win total, according to our friends at FanDuel, is 8.5. Do you know why that number isn't higher? Because their schedule is tough. It's really, really tough. So, Northern Arizona at Mississippi State and Texas State. That is not by any stretch a cakewalk of a non-conference. I would like to point out it is my ideal non-conference schedule setup. FCS, a Power 4, and a Group of 5. It's perfect. Everybody should want to be like Arizona State. Looking at you, Indiana. Then, I think they win all three of those games. Then you have a 4-game stretch that I'm going to flip a coin on to see where I think the wins go. I think you're going to win 2 of at Baylor, TCU, at Utah, and Texas Tech. Those are brutally tough games. I think you go 2-2 in that stretch. I think you beat Houston. I think you lose at Iowa State in a Big 12 championship game rematch. And then a W3 to end the year. West Virginia at Colorado and Arizona in the duel in the desert or territorial cup if you prefer. So that's 9-3. That's over the win total by just a little. I can see 10. I think that's more likely than 8, but I lean towards 9 wins for Arizona State, Richie. Is that crazy to you?
No, not at all. Can you run those 3 losses by me again?
I can indeed. It will be at Iowa State on November 1st, and then 2 of Baylor, TCU, Utah, and Texas Tech. That will be a 2-2 stretch. At Utah, brutal. I think the Utes are a bounce-back team this year. At Baylor and TCU, I think they can drop one of those games. Texas Tech, of course, my preseason number 1 team in the Big 12, but you have them at home. If Arizona State goes 3-1 in that stretch, Richie, they might be right back in the college football playoff.
Yeah, I love this schedule, not in terms of like, oh, it's super easy, but in terms of like, hey, here's a chance to prove yourself. Like a lot of people, and I would say rightfully so, until further notice, look at ASU as the Cinderella team. Like they just kind of came out of nowhere last year. It very much came out of nowhere, and they end up having a Heisman finalist, and they go to the college football playoff, and they take Texas to double overtime. They're a play away from getting a win over Texas. I mean, it truly was out of nowhere. So they got to find a way to prove it again. And I'm someone I want the hardest schedule possible because I want to prove that my team is worthy of that. Like I don't like the cupcake schedules that you get in the pros, like when your favorite team finishes dead last in their division, now you get to face all the other dead last teams. And I don't like that because maybe it's just a fluke season kind of thing. So I want to face the best teams possible. And ASU is facing the best teams possible. I love Baylor. I love Texas Tech. I love Kansas State. You don't have Kansas State, but you do have the other 2. I am bullish on TCU this year. I think that they're going to be a lot better than people think. Iowa State going there in November, that's a really tough game, and they are going to have revenge on their mind. And by that point in the season, they're probably going to have their passing game figured out. I would rather have Iowa State way earlier in the year, but that's not going to be the case.
So, where do you think the floor is for Arizona State? What's the worst record, presuming no run of injuries? You know, where I don't know,
I'd say
just to
9
pick
wins.
some random. I didn't get to finish my random hypothetical here. That isn't so
Oh, hit
random
me.
or a hypothetical. If you don't get to the point where you're snapping the ball to a tight end, what's the minimum number of wins for Arizona State this year?
Fun fact, that is technically a start at quarterback for Jalen Conyers, which gave us 6 starting quarterbacks in 2023, including a tight end, which is
Not
just
good.
insane. But as long as that doesn't happen, right? I do think this is a 9-win football team because of
Minimum.
everything
You
that's
think you think you
returning.
think that is the bare minimum that they accomplished this year?
If you won 8 games, I would call that pretty disappointing, considering everything that's coming back. Now, if you lost Scadaboo and Jordan Tyson, Yeah, that's a little bit of a different story because they very easily could have. Tyson was eligible to go to the pros, but Tyson decided to come back with Sam Levitt. So you got the dynamite duo right there, going to be one of the best quarterback to receiver duos in the country this year, certainly going into the season. So you got that much going for you. And then the defense is loaded. They're all coming back. I love what you got going on in the backfield to try and replace Cam Scadaboo's production. Tight end is ridiculously deep. This needs to be the year that they get that involved. 4 of your 5 offensive linemen who were starting last year are back. This is just a team that is built to continue the success that they had a year ago, which is one of the reasons why I think they are once again going to be in the thick of it to win the Big 12 title. I feel like they should be the clear favorites because they returned so much from last year, but maybe that's some rose-colored glasses, admittedly. Nonetheless, this is a tough schedule. I love that you have Texas Tech at home. I don't love that you're traveling to Baylor and you're traveling to Iowa State. Those are 2 games.
And you're traveling to Utah.
Yeah.
Now,
and
at least
Utah plays ASU tough.
At least the Utah game is off a bye. But last year, the team, ASU, that went on to be the Big 12 champs, played a Utah team that even when Cam Rising was there, we learned, this is not the Utah team of old. In Tempe, that was tight. Like, I look at that game, if Devin Dampier is healthy, that's a mid-October game. Kind of going back to the Iowa State point that you made earlier. They have some new components, new offensive coordinator, new quarterback. They'll be pretty settled in at that point. Utah is more dangerous in November, but man, a mid-October game at Rice Eccles, if that is a night game, the time is TBD. If that's a night game at Rice Eccles, man, that's one of the toughest places to go in the Big 12.
It is, and Utah plays ASU so historically well. Since Utah joined the Pac-12 back in the day, RIP, they immediately became one of the most stingy rivals that ASU has had since the turn of the century. I mean, there is a bit of a rivalry in there, maybe enough that would crack that top 25 that the Duel in the Desert was not in because, nothing makes sense.
I think the Duel in the Desert is well above Arizona State and Utah, but based on how the Athletic made that list, then it might be Arizona State and Utah.
There you go. You're picking up what I'm throwing down.
I still can't believe that list, man.
I can't either.
It was so bad.
I can't either. No.
So bad.
But that is a really good rivalry, ASU Utah. There's no name to it. And we don't get to see them every year, unfortunately, with moving to the Big 12. We don't have that regionality aspect that the Pac-12 used to have for us. But these 2 teams hate each other. And Utah is always ready to play. You saw that last year with banged up Cam Rising and then whoever came in a court. I don't think it was Isaac Wilson. I can't even remember who played a quarterback for them in that game. But, I mean, they played ASU tight, and that's just the way they always do. So I am definitely not counting that one as a win. That's one of the games I think is a toss-up right now. And if I were to go 3 losses, it would be Baylor, Utah, Iowa State.
I think that's very reasonable. Let me just throw this at you. Real quick. Do you have your official record prediction? You don't have to right now.
10-2.
10-2. Okay. You got 10-2. I'm in 9-3.
Baylor and Iowa State are my losses.
Do not sleep on that Mississippi State game. On the road, week 2.
You've got that in my head, man.
In Starkville. I know. I have been saying it any chance it comes up on the show here in the offseason. Mississippi State is going to beat somebody they shouldn't in 2025. Maybe that's Tennessee. That could be Arizona State. It's going to be somebody. I'm not entirely certain who just yet. It's going to be somebody. Just keep an eye on that one. Doesn't affect the Big 12 title race, of course, but if ASU wants to get an at-large at 11-1 or maybe even 12-0, that would be something to pull off.